We have moved to the boxing workout area here at Project Fighting Chance. And we're here once again having some time with the son of the namesake, Ruben Campos, and just enjoying this conversation about being at the place where his dad made such an impact with regards to this community and working with the at-risk populations. And you know, Ruben, those at-risk populations most likely were at risk because of some kind of trauma, and oftentimes childhood trauma. Project Fighting Chance is committed to reducing childhood violence, aggression, and trauma, as well as childhood obesity and food insecurity over the lifespan. When we talk about childhood trauma and community, what should we be aware of about the impact of childhood trauma?
Well, obviously, childhood trauma can lead to just a repeat as they get older, following the footsteps possibly of somebody who hasn't been a great influence in their lives. So that continuous cycle cannot be has to be stopped. Places such as this, and specifically this place, is one of the ways that we can hopefully solve that problem, because it doesn't help a community, it doesn't help a family when there is trauma, and more importantly, when there's no one there to help support that trauma or that victim of trauma. One of the things I know that my father really, really cared about were the individuals that came out of, whether it was juvenile hall or even if they had gone to county jail or even prison. He spent quite a bit of time trying to counsel them in the ways of the world, and maybe not digging as deep because he wasn't a licensed therapist, but deep enough to kind of get them to come out as to maybe what has caused some of those issues. And even to this day, I hear stories about how my dad saved someone from going down a path that they knew that path wasn't going to be well, and that they were able to not only stop but also raise children that are doing well. So it can be debilitating to not have support for kids with childhood trauma.
And it's ironic that we are in the pathway without even knowing each other and having spent much time about what your dad did and didn't do. How does it make you feel knowing that almost by osmosis we have basically followed that same path?
Well, I think it's just, it's heartwarming to a certain extent, because it's one of those things where you just don't know what's going to happen with the legacy, or you think it's just one person sometimes, and then when you realize that it really isn't, talking about community, you're talking about family, you're talking about, there's more than just one person that is out there, and it's refreshing to see that. And it's not just you, Terry, it's the others that are here, and it's out there. But until you actually physically see it and feel it, because people can say a lot of things. I've heard a lot of words come out of a lot of people's mouths, but until you actually see it and feel it, that's when it becomes real. And I think that's really the important part of this facility now, and what you guys are all doing here, because it is real. And yes, osmosis, faith, however you want to look at it, it's pleasant to know that it's there, refreshing.
And I think it was also very important when we got the history about the Ruben Campos family and Ruben Campos himself, the man. We thought about what we wanted this place to look like, how we wanted to functionally use it, from course of boxing and training some of the top athletes in the country, but also opening the space to have meetings and make it available to the community, to have enrichment programs, arts, just town hall meetings. Of course, the space just adjacent to us is that open spaces, so we can get the chairs out there and the podium and have the community come in and talk about some of the important things involving youth. When you look at the facility and you look at what's been done with it, What are your thoughts?
Well, I remember when I was younger coming in here, and there was just a lot of pool tables, uh, carom tables. There were games, but then there would be times where at chairs and tables for conversation. There would be times I'd come and, help my dad move things away, make that space open for dance class or exercise class. So it gave that, it gave this place a little bit more life than just for kids. It also gave that life for community or people with different interests. And I think because you do have that now, the interests that are here, that are shared interests and individuals that want to come in and do something, not just boxing, but other types, other forms of engagement. I think that's important and it's vital because now you're gathering more than just a specific clientele, for lack of a better word.
And when you talk about your moment, your time when you first came back in here, when we did the dedication of the mural, what moment did you have?
Oh, well, first of all, it's funny, but the smells don't leave, right? You can do a lot to places, but that's the first thing right or wrong, the smell. And when I just remember everything growing up or when I was coming in here. And then I started to see what you had done, and I saw the bags, the ring. There's still a pool table here. So there was a familiarity, but there was also a little diversification of what was here before. And it just kind of brought a smile to my face. And as we started to walk towards the mural, knowing that, okay, that's where the pool check-in was. That's where you put your clothes away in the lockers, and all of those things started to come back as far as memories. But it was just a good feeling. It was almost like walking into mom's kitchen again and smelling the food and just having that sense of comfort. So, but I was excited. I know my family was excited to see what was being done here. So, definitely appreciative.
Well, we appreciate you, appreciate the Campos family. We are Project Fighting Chance here with Ruben Campos, who has had an opportunity to take time out to talk about his dad, Ruben Campos, here at the Ruben Campos Community Center with San Bernardino Parks and Recreation Community Service, Nunez Park in San Bernardino, California. We are projectfightingchance.org. Remember, boxing is what we do. Community is who we are.